It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Obiajulu Ugbo, how you doing? Actually, in fact, we know how you're doing. Oh. How are you doing?
It's well, it's well. I was on my own, you know, on Sunday evening when Murayo called me and she said, "Auntie, you're trending, you know. We heard your husband went to hijack a plane." The first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Is my husband a pilot?" He was sitting close to me and we started laughing. I didn't know how heavy this was going viral already. And she now explained what they said happened. Apparently, the man who went to constitute a nuisance in Ibom Air line was, you know, mistaken for my husband. They said he was my husband.
It wasn't his name. Was
deliberately, yes, deliberately. His name was Obiajulu Oja. Yeah. So I don't know how Obiajulu Uja relates to Obiajulu Ugbo because we just share first names. And then some blogs, some very...
Don't worry, we'll have them for breakfast. Don't worry, let's see, there's plenty of time. We're eating them for breakfast this morning. Let's talk about our work first. We had a fantastic work on Saturday. But let me greet Nima. Welcome. Awesome. You took a whole week of consecration and dedication to the Almighty Allah.
Yes, this is how Ramadan should be. And I hope subsequently I'll disappear for the entire month. Yes, I was fasting, but it didn't feel like, and I did what I needed to do in Ramadan. Unfortunately, for the past 9 years, I've noticed that it's not the usual fast. Because I grew up in a house when we are fasting, you just hear different recitations of the Quran, people doing, everybody waking up at night. But it stopped after, when I got married, because it was I was alone on it, and then it stopped over time with work. And I just thought, if I can disappear during that month, I can go back. And this month has been amazing. The 1 week, as in, I'm on the 18th surah of the Quran. I'm not saying it because of TV, because you're not supposed to disclose. But it was a feat. It was a tough thing to even be on the 5th surah by the last 10 days of Ramadan. So I'm grateful that, you know, the seclusion worked.
Amazing. Fantastic. Mariam, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. It started on a high on Friday. I went to Majidun community in Ikorodu.
Oh, yes, you did.
And I had a book reading with the children there. These two young girls have an NGO called Lend a Hand Africa. Young girls, small children that have decided that they must do something for that community. And they do it every year. They read to the children, they pay their fees. I spoke to some of the children that started from, so I joined Lend a Hand Africa. I met Lend a Hand Africa when I was in primary school, and now I'm in my 3rd year in university. I am doing hairdressing, and I'm back in school writing jam. These two young girls, I was just so blown away by them. And yeah, and then of course we had our walk, which was amazing. It was the most fantastic thing we've ever done as a group, I thought, in my opinion.
To talk more about the work after the break, because I mean, as BC said, the issue of fake news is our topic today. Trust me, I know lots of Nigerians are tuning in this morning because they wanted to find out if what they heard on social media is true. Don't worry, we'll take it small. We don't want to rush that story. Take it small by small. But first, we'll talk about our work on Saturday. Stay with us. No, paper review.
Yes.
Okay, we're not in a hurry. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
June, which we know is the deadline for the total removal of the fuel subsidy. So manufacturers and other members of the organized private sector, OPS, are advising the federal government to put measures in place before this subsidy is finally removed. They said they are all on the same page concerning the subsidy. They want it to be removed, but the federal government must make known strategies that they want to put in place first before they remove it, so that all advise that governments must redirect funds from subsidy payments to productive sectors of the economy so that they are able to do something with it, and also asking that the outgoing government must fix the refineries. You can't just take out the subsidy and leave the refineries like that. That will bring more hardship on people. So they broke this down, how they want government to tackle the issues of refineries before we remove the subsidy, or make plans on how they can use.
That's for the new government.
Yes. Okay, but they are saying that the old government should do that. I don't know the time frame that they have for it. And also, they must cut down the excesses that happens within the oil sector. That's also one of the ways that we can get more funds and ease people into removal of subsidy. Or else stuff go bad.
I want to take major headline.
Major headline.
The governors, this one that we have been asking since, and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, are at loggerheads right now. Some of us have been wondering how the governors spend the security votes.
Yes.
And so NFIU have a deadline by March 1st where no more cash withdrawals will be done from any account, including public accounts, especially public accounts. And so the governors were like, So they called a meeting for January where they would, decide and, banter on what to do going forward. And they want to draft the anti-graft agencies, the CBN, the FIRS into it on how to better manage their security votes. And that's supposed to be for tomorrow. But the FIRS says their March 1st deadline still stands, and it becomes, it becomes a criminal action on which anybody can be prosecuted if some withdrawals are done by cash. That the governors can spend the security vote, no problem. But it must be traceable. It must be via
what you're spending.
Yes,
and that's part of the foundational restructuring we need, where we can actually trade. Once we can follow the money anywhere, it reduces corruption.
Yes, it does.
One of the major tools is, governments are doing that corrupt because of the security votes. Okay, let us be transparent on how we do spend it, so that at least Nigerians can begin to trust the system.
Because these governors have immunity, I'm pitying the banks. That's because they will catch everybody.
Yeah,
Let's take another story.
Yeah, so this story is quite short. I thought it was longer than this, but I didn't find any other part. It says China loans to Africa transparent. So China yesterday allayed fears of the transparency of the terms of its loans to Africa. They said they were responding to a claim that was made by the World Bank President David Malpass. He had expressed concern about some of the loans that China had been lending to developing countries and developing economies like ours. I mean, in Africa, we've heard all sorts of, stories.
Right.
We have questioned it as well. We're asking, what are they going to take from us? They've said to us that the loans that they give, the loans that are done are given within international rules, and they are transparent, and that's it. That's all they said.
Let me take the news from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, saying that no fewer than 922 persons have been infected with cholera, while 32 have passed on. The breakdown of the state is Cross River has 647 of the 922. Ebonyi has 97, Abia has 72, Niger State has 38, Zamfara 28, Bayelsa 16, Ondo 10, and Sokoto 3. And of that, the deaths of this is Cross River has 16 deaths, Ebonyi has 6 deaths, Abia 6, Bayelsa 1, Zamfara 1. Now this is quite cause for concern, because the National Multi-Sectoral Cholera have continued to monitor the disease, and they're asking that as of March 5th, these figures could increase in the coming weeks. So of the suspected cases since the beginning of the year, the group has said the group affected have been 45 years and above, and mostly, no, actually it's 45 years in the most affected for male and female. Of all the suspected cases, 54% are male, while 46% are females. And these states that I mentioned earlier are where the cholera deaths have been prevalent, and we're asking that the CDC, the NCDC is asking that they should take more precaution going forward. Moving on now to the Punch. Buhari or Shimbajo 28 governors, ministers to begin asset declaration. Pope Kaigama preach love service as Christians observe Palm Sunday. 22-year-old Ogun lady found dead in room, boyfriend held. Ramadan, why the aged may abstain from fasting. Tanker fire worsens Lagos Ibadan expressway gridlock. Nigeria Forex suspends Sterling Bank share trading. And AFG to demolish Lagos Airport jet hangars. Okay, which story?
I'll take the picture story. So as we know, it's been the Lent period, and Catholics and other Christians have been fasting, and we know we're getting to the end of the Lent. So yesterday, Sunday, was Palm Sunday, and the Pope, as we know, he's the head of the Catholic Church, and that's Pope Francis, has called on Christians to show love and care, especially to those who are currently experiencing extreme suffering and solitude. And here in Nigeria, we had Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, who urged political office holders to embrace the life of modesty. He said that there's this flamboyance and display of wealth that our politicians of today have embraced, and they should be more like Jesus. He talked about how Jesus got on the donkey and walked through Jerusalem. He said even though Christ is God, he rode on the lowliest of animals, and so he's asking that politicians should be careful with the way we use up resources. They use up resources. It says a lot of money goes into politics and politicking, that many people are willing to do everything, kind or unkind, good and bad, to get into political office.
Okay, so I wanted to take the fasting instruction from the chief imam of the neuropsychiatric hospital, Aro, Mustaz Alaron, and I wanted to take it because just on Saturday, this argument came up with a family member. So the Quranic verse is that, and for those who can fast only with difficulty, they have to feed a poor person. And I had said it to a family member, and he said, no, they've been exempted, and that's what God says. Once you're elderly, you're sick, you're exempted. I said, but you pay a recompense, which is feeding a sick person. I remember when I was pregnant with my son, I couldn't fast, and I thought paying me back would be huge. So I fed a person daily. So we needed to do it for an elderly person. And he said, no, she's exempted, she doesn't have to pay the recompense. That's
as good as clarity.
Yes.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I didn't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
And injustice. So according to the story, they said she was in her room. She was stabbed in her room.
Wow.
And there was a knife that was beside her and her phone. She had slits. We don't know if she's the one that did it, but it happened that her throat was slit,
and
then her body as well. And so the boyfriend went to the police station to report, to say that she was missing. And so by the time he was at the counter making a report and asking to be helped to find the missing girlfriend, the DPO saw him and asked him, what time is it? When is this person missing? And he said it's not up to 24 hours yet. And so they detained him, till the next day. And when the girl's parents came to the police station, they had to go back to the house, then broke open the door and saw that this girl was already murdered. So one of the aunties who was saying that she's still
the efficient use of the International Wing Airport, and there was a need for them to demolish, them to pave way for the expansion plan for the Murtala Mohammed Airport. So the two hangars, Dominion and Evergreen, would have to go and give way for airport to become more efficient. They are not operating the Lagos. They are not operating the Lagos airport at full capacity, and now they have to really expand. So that's. I mean, I hope that would not affect some private owners of the hangars, but definitely that's good news for the expansion for the Lagos airport. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Governors, EFCC, CBN to meet over security votes. Efforts to discredit Obi will fail woefully, campaign organization tells APC. Buhari hails Anthony Joshua's victory over Jermaine Franklin. IPOB flays clean of members in Abia. FCTA repatriates 217 destitute beggars to Katsina, Kano, Abia, Imo, Delta, and others. How to win war against corruption policy groups. Senate President APC groups say Kalu is the most qualified, and Ohaneze MBF AYCF won on interim government. Okay, which story are we starting with in Daily Sun?
The FCTA story. So, according to the Director, Department of Social Welfare Services, Social Development Secretariat of the FCTA, Sani Amar Rabe, he said in an interview that, the Federal Capital Territory has repatriated 217 destitute beggars and vagabonds evacuated in the FCT to their various states. And this was why I found the story interesting, because we have a precedent that the world shook for. He said that they have a law in the FCT. I'm trying to get the law again that permits the FCT to do this in accordance with they have gone.
Okay, you want to take another story in Daily Sun? I had a story. Our president has celebrated the victory of the Nigerian-born boxer Anthony Joshua over Jermaine Franklin. Many watched that match. Commended triumph over the gifted pugilist over a formidable opponent. According to him, Anthony Joshua extolled the mentality of a great warrior who did not allow personal setbacks and obstacles to dent his resilient spirit. According to the president, work, patience, dedication, and persistence obviously always wins the day. Also, the president-elect also tweeted saying that congratulations, champ, Anthony Joshua. Determination and perseverance always pays off. Nigeria is proud of you. I didn't watch the match, but I heard so much about the match that he was actually, he dominated. It happened at the O2 Arena in the leaked audio. I never campaigned for any politician, says Oyedepo. Bandits K-12 abduct 26 in Niger, Katsina. Ondo court sentences 17 terrorists to 5 years in prison. 10th National Assembly leadership. Power blocks strategize await Tinubu's return. APC's propaganda can't stop pursuit of our mandate, says Obi. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Bandits yesterday killed 7 persons and abducted 26 others from 7 communities in Mashegu local government area of Niger State. Also in Katsina, terrorists in long kaftans called Jalabia raided the Beribari community this weekend, killing 5 peasants, and there were quite a number of locals who are receiving treatment at the hospitals following sustained injuries during the attack. And also another development, troops and special forces of the Nigerian Army neutralized 11 bandits in a fierce battle which took place during fighting patrols in Benungwari local government area of Kaduna State. In Niger State, Chairman of Mashegu Council, Umar Igede, confirmed the attacks on the 7 communities in Mina yesterday. Said the attacks have forced residents to flee from their homes. According to him, he said bandits have killed hundreds of residents between January and March 2023. And causing people to leave their homes because of the incessant attacks. In the last 2 weeks, terrorists have unleashed terror on Kulho, Sahon, Rami, and Tashan Hajiya, among other communities. And most of the communities affected have deserted their homes and going to the internally displaced persons camp in Kontagora and other places for their safety. And so he's calling on the state government and other relevant security agencies to come to their aid and bring an end to the terrorist attacks that are happening all around.
Follow up with the Ondo story where 17 terrorists were over the weekend sentenced to prison. And this happened that they were arrested on November 4, 2021, where all 17 of them were in possession of illegal possession of firearms. They tried to overrun an Amotekun call when they tried to arrest them, and also further criminal activities. And they were arraigned for 3 count charges, and they were found guilty for 2 of those count charges. They were sentenced to 5 years imprisonment altogether, and 2 others to another 4 years imprisonment by the Ondo State magistrate court in Ondo State, which is what we should be seeing. So I hope that the arrest will be done in Niger State case and not the cases you took.
Amen.
And then we'll see prosecution and imprisonment.
Yeah, so in continuation of the work that the military and police and security agencies are doing, the General Overseer, the GO of RCCG, he said that he had Thanksgiving service on Sunday, and the theme for the service was called Vessels Unto Honor. And he was talking about the sacrifice that our military, our police, our paramilitary, and other security agencies make for our country and for the safety of the citizenry. He said he would have loved to have joined the military, but his mom said, "You are my only son. I don't care what you do after I'm dead. So wait until after I'm dead." He said, "At that hand of God, the Almighty God will watch over them. He will take care of their families in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Yeah. God will support them, fight their battles, and make them more than conquerors all the time." Amen.
Talking about Jesus, so the founder of the Living Faith Church, Bishop David Oyedepo, said that he has never spoken on behalf of any political party, and this was following the leaked audio between him and the LP presidential candidate Peter Obi that leaked, where he was talking to Bishop Oyedepo, and specifically he said, "I have never campaigned for anybody or spoken on anybody's behalf, and I would not do that till I go to heaven." He says there is no political party in this country that didn't come to me for prayers and advice. I advised them, some didn't take it. Those who chose to take it saw the results. Those who said no are still going about it. But if you still come again, I will still tell you it doesn't change. That he maintains that yes, every political party did come to talk to him, but he did not, and he would not support any specific political party. This is following all the allegations concerning this leaked audio. Let's move on now to the point. Tougher times ahead as Nigeria's debt portfolio breaks limits. Governor Umahi to pay 40 years pension gratuity arrears to Ebonyi retirees. Adeleke Aregbesol's sudden romance unsettles Oyetola's camp. Ayu's many battles as PDP national chairman. And Nigerian Forex bargain hunting wipes 18. Look, my Nigerian Stock Exchange actually bargaining hunting wipes 18 billion naira off investors' assets. Okay.
Yes, so Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State has said his administration is ready to pay 40 years pensions and gratuity arrears to retirees in the state. He said the beneficiaries were particularly the outstanding pensioners who have been verified for payment between 1982 and November 2022. So he spoke to the Commissioner for Information and State Orientation, Uchenna Oji, and he said that the administration has been committed to paying people for the past 8 years now, and he's ready to pay the total amount, which amounts to 4,243,348,571 naira 21 kobo. That will be paid to the outstanding pensioners. I'm looking forward to a time where you don't have to wait for a very long time, to start doing this process of verifying yourself again after you've done work. So once you're retiring or resigning as someone who has served your state, your pension.
Where is that statement of the pension scheme? Where is this pension?
Anyways, I'll take this last story. NDLA declares prophetess and others wanted for illicit drugs. So the NDLA has declared a Port Harcourt, Rivers State-based popular prophetess and founder of the church. They didn't tell us the name. Another person, Faith, her surname was withheld. A celebrity couple, Igor and Danielle, surname also withheld, wanted for allegedly recruiting teenage girls into drug trafficking while they serve as the arrowheads of an international syndicate operating from Los Angeles, USA. The leader was blown off the cartel when NDLA operatives at the narco import shed of the Murtala airport intercepted a consignment of 32.7 kg of loud, a strong variant of cannabis concealed in cartons of used wares. This is really, really pathetic. But she's been arrested, and we continue to encourage NDLA because they are doing quite a bit of work to sanitize the country. That's all we can take on paper review. When we come back, we talk about Saturday's Walk for Equity. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
It's not just web, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no judgment.
No, and I
Oh, they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
who?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. My mom just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself.
Thanks for staying with us. So last Saturday, the ladies of YourView had a symbolic walk experience with our audience and fans. The theme of that walk was tagged Work for Equity, and we specifically wanted lots of men, the he for she's, to join. We'll be showing short footages from the groundbreaking event. Watch this.
God Almighty Allah, because since 10 years ago this program started, I can boast, not by pride, that I started this program with them. And then I'm one of the caller that if I want to call, because some people always ask, what is the magic? There's not any magic behind that. The magic I'm about to say is that sometimes I hold two phones, one in my right, the other one in my left. Why? Because the passion I have for this program. Because the program is so educative to the extent that a lot of Nigerians proud to have a program like Your View.
Well, let me commend the View crew for this initiative, but first let me congratulate them for their 10-year anniversary. When they started, it was as if they were not going to sustain it, but to sustain a show like The View for 10 years, that is really impressive, and it shows that, you know, whatever women can do, the women can do it better. I think these ladies have brought it together. You see, it's a medley. They give you a basket of news and information. What you get
to get this many people on this sports, Mr. Sunday Dare, thank you for coming. He also came with the legend Mary Onyali. Yes, she was the ambassador. Mary Onyali was also there. She was so excited, and they waited. They came because the first to arrive. Like 7 on the dot, was walk back, and we waited, and we left fairly early before 8 o'clock. We were already on the road. I mean, let me come to you.
He did the walk back and forth, because you know, usually with these people, you just expect that they'll come, show their face,
and go.
He stayed with us, and he was even, you know, teasing us. He was like, "Is that it? Like, we need to go one more round after doing aerobics." I really enjoyed that we did that. For me, you know, I said it before, I was so humbled by the people that came out. You know, these were people that there was no invitation given, there was no asking anyone to come, but these were people who said, "We've been watching you from the very beginning." Much older people were there, very young people were there. You know, everybody just wanted to come and support us and just appreciate us. And we are so grateful for the love that we always receive from our viewers.
I particularly felt the love of our fans. They came, they knew us one-on-one. They were asking, where's Alaja, where's YK? They expected to see everybody. And of course, Grandma YK could not make it. And Alaja was fasting, you know, But it was a very beautiful experience. The energy was there. You could see in their eyes that...
You saw Yakub?
Yes!
That was Yakub!
Yes! I looked at him and I said, you're small, I expected a big black man.
Thank you, Yakub, for coming. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. We had fun. No, at least you watched a bit, so you had a bit of clips.
I got tags. So I'm off Instagram, then I come back on every evening. And I saw the tags. I was like, wow. I did not expect it at all. It was a huge
It was fun.
I wished I was there to see Yakub. Yakub would have been my highlight. Because I saw him once when we had the live audience invitation, and I couldn't remember him when he was interviewed just now. So I would have really loved to see him.
One of my highlights was a woman, an old woman. This woman is not, at least not less than 70.
Yes.
This man came in her on top the green regular lace clothes. She told me, can I get a t-shirt? Unfortunately, there was no more shirts. She begged me, and she was wearing regular slippers. So she's going to walk. I said, are you sure? You can enter the casino. She walked to and back. Yes. She was carrying her bag. I mean, I think the camera captured it. In her regular slippers. Yes.
There was also another elderly woman who I did not expect to have such strength.
Energy.
As in, she went with us. She was in front, back.
Yes.
You know,
she was leading all the chants.
Yes.
So let's talk about the fact that it was for equity. So the women's issues, of course, we are not asking for equality.
Yes.
We're asking for equity. We're raising that awareness.
Yes. And lots of men showed up.
Yes.
The husband.
My husband was available.
Was not on the plane. Was there. The husband was there. You know, but also there was a young lady that. But when the DJ hadn't come, she was one singing. Yes! She was a fan. She was starting the songs and she was singing. I mean, I felt really bad. I said, I must pay this woman.
She was happy.
Yes,
she was excited. So that we need. I know, you know, the message of work for equity. That's good, but the positive energy, the fact that you're surrounded by people that know that are there because they want you, they like you, and they want to be there for you. It is so refreshing. And that's one of the things I want to take away from this real life and social media. All the trolls and all the bad energy that happens on social media. You think everybody hates you and you have a guard around you, but then we met the real fans, the real people, and they had only positive things to say about all of us. There was nobody, you know, all the pitting us against each other wasn't there. They were just so excited and happy, and I'm just appreciative of what we do. And I'm just so grateful for this caliber of Nigerians that we attract. You know, that we give our positive energy and we're getting that back. So I'm so happy.
I think we can end with that. Thank you so much to everybody, to the entire crew. TVC came out. TVC was there to support us. Online, social media. The TVC Women's Network also came out. If you know, thank you so much to everybody. Thank you for the peoples. I love the fact that Kemi Shonobi was there.
Dancing.
Mabel was there. Adete. So many people just came
and
out.
Our producers were there producing dancing.
And dancing. Okay, so still your view is still going to be 10 May 29. That's the exact day. We know everybody will be distracted with the swearing in, but we will still find an activity to do around just to celebrate 10 years on this show. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the Mara at hand.
Gang gang.
The people talking nonsense. We'll talk about you after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just... I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then would it make a difference where? So like this person might just say you people can just be on 3rd Mainland Bridge on a bike. And the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change the scenario for, like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner like the film you were mentioning?
No.
Like, who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this point?
The car will be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
The car will be stationary.
Because I'll go master. You can't be telling me like I'm going to drive near water.
All of
you consider.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
When was the first Gulda ultimate search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Pere. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of ours, Obiajulu Ugbo, was wrongfully accused. The initially put was Lilian Ugbo.
Lilian
Obiajulu. Yes. Now, this has gone viral. Of course, Ibom here has also sent in a press release about what happened, and it's quite sad to see the length in which this video went viral. Let me start with BC, your thoughts when you saw the video and how it all happened in your own end.
Okay, so after you called me, I had to go on social media to find out exactly what was happening. And I saw the first person who started trending this post, HOD Department for Papa Chukudi, who posted it and said, this is Mrs. Lilian Obiajulu, the Ibom Airline APC propaganda actor. She previously worked for Inspiration FM and Wazobia FM. She's currently working with TVC. Now put up my picture and another woman's picture as one person. And so when I scrolled down and saw the remaining part, people were saying, we know this person now. She can't be. Are you not seeing that it's just first name relation? There's no, she's an Ugbo. This one is Uja. So if she had to be the man's wife, it would be Mrs. Uja, not Mrs. Ugbo, you know. But it kept trending. So I had to do not a repost. I had to rejoin on that person's account and asked him to take it down, or I would sue him. But after he took it, I think he took it down. I went online again. People kept sending me links of different people, different names. I'm getting all of them. I'm going to mention the ones that I saw. There were so many of them. People were calling me, and finally, Nairaland posted it. Somebody sent me a link yesterday, and I saw Nairaland posting the same story and saying, I want to quote exactly what they had here. Ibom Air actor's wife, Obiajulu Ugbo, working for TVC, and went ahead and posted an interview I did in 2017 with the Nation newspaper as an artist. They interviewed me as a rapper because I was promoting my work at the time, and said at some point that the Nation newspaper glorified her.
On Nairaland.
On Nairaland.
They're trying to
build the Nairaland guy will be meeting me in court.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that is fake news.
Absolutely.
That's another one.
Absolutely.
So some other persons, I want to get all of their names here.
While you're putting that, let me just remind people what this is about. So the man in the plane stood in between the passenger seat. This is a man that the Mr. Obiajulu Uja himself stood in the plane in the middle of the aircraft and could be heard threatening that Tinubu must not be sworn in as the Nigerian president next month. These were the clips are now being shown on your screen because this is one of the issues we're going to be discussing concerning fake news. Has become the order of the day, where because a group of people are trying to manage a crisis, you have somebody, you're trying to manage a crisis, the easiest thing is to find an innocent person
and accuse that
person of being the one who actually orchestrated this embarrassment, a national embarrassment.
Let me
come back to you, BC.
Yes. So Chinedu Asino Anosike on Facebook also posted the same thing from Zandi Namdi laptops. Now, somebody sent me another link because people kept tagging me to different things. Or Labisi Ugbo. So it was very unfortunate that somebody was deliberate about tarnishing my image. And I'm giving Nairaland 3 hours before this show ends to take down that news, because anytime you click my name for posterity's sake, you're going to see that news, and nobody wants to ask you after a few hours and a few days. Nobody would ask you if it's true or not. If they don't take it down, they will meet me in court. You don't do that to somebody. And if they had done simple research, it just takes research to go and verify the news. Okay, this person and this person, do they relate? The woman that they claimed was myself, that's the other woman's picture, is actually Lilian Obiajulu. Her surname as well. It's not even an Uja. So it's possible that's also another fake thing, because you want to pass the buck. You want to run away from your responsibility. You don't want, you don't want to take account. You don't want to be accountable to what your mess up. That's the truth. You don't want to be accountable to your mess up. So you just find somebody, an easy scapegoat, and rub the person in. I'm ready for you guys. I'm taking you guys to court.
Don't worry.
We'll get you. Tell me how I married another man and I did not tell my husband.
We've tried to get. I tried to call Mr. Femi Falana, but maybe he's not picking. Right, his phone is switched off. We have to find you a proper lawyer that's going to get, because this matter we are taking it all the way.
I'm taking it all.
Even if you change your mind halfway, me I will push you. This one we must take it to the end. And secondly, you see what even was more hurtful, the effrontery, the temerity, the audacity for somebody to go on the news on national TV and speak confidently, saying that even obedience have gone to go and research. They've traced it.
Can we address
how do you say
this
how
obedience?
So I don't want to focus on that.
No, please allow me.
I'll allow you. Let me just land this point.
Okay.
Is that the issue we're talking about? So it means that if you can confidently come out and push this narrative, how many narratives like that have you pushed in the past that is totally false and false that you try to make and then they go viral to focus and to derail from the real focus of the facts?
You see, indicator, for instance, I want to address a serious issue here. So the pushing out of a single side story where you only hear yourself, you don't want to hear the other side, and the imbalance is why we got here.
Yes.
A woman of that caliber shouldn't sit on TV or something she hasn't verified and said, "You're obedient." Name a group of people you don't know their house address. When you say obedient, you just jump on a bandwagon to trend, and that's why we got here. That's why that man went mental on an airplane, embarrassed his entire generation.
Honestly,
to that point, and we are not addressing how mentally this thing has affected a lot of people. Why somebody will say, "Okay, let me just match that Obiajulu woman, now her son name match her, and let me push it," because there are a group of people who don't want to hear another side. Anywhere in the world, they don't want to hear. They don't have the objectivity of another side. So let me put Obiajulu. She works with TVC and push that story. If you made a mistake, you would have grabbed him, find a way to banter him, find his house address, his grandmother's name. That's why we say regulate social media.
I have all this.
This is like opening a company with the CAC. Absolutely. You have an address. It is actionable. That carries a fine for you to move your office address, your head office address with the CAC without notifying the CAC. So that when you go and goof and do fraud, they will find you. Exactly. If you want to insult somebody's name and husband, use it to trend. Let us know your office so that we can come and visit you. No, we don't know reportage. Don't buy market because they like to trend. Yes. This bandwagon of people who have followed this one-sided narrative for so long, they are popular, and their numbers are huge. You want to jump on that number, trend for your blogs, for your whatever, so at anybody's cost. This is anybody's cost. January 1, 2021, I was sitting on the show. We had the first show here. No, I did not think that at the end of the show, my child would be called by a national television. Yes. So they'll bring them, they'll give a national platform to propagate, to steal fake news. A national give you their own page to come and speak live something that you cannot verify, and then they'll say, "Oh, they are the most objective." How? Just because they have that's how you get the numbers. You put out fake news alive, put out fake news out there, and then you get the numbers. People follow you, and that's the most objective.
You cannot think.
You can't think. Happy.
Is that a simple Google away? Just click on it and see. Check the history of the.
Why should
let me come to you, Maya.
They don't need to do that. If they do that, then how would they trend? If they do that, how would they wear the crown of we are the most followed, or we're the most listened to, or we're the most watched? You have carried, you have decided to be the face of anything that is fake, dangerous news, just because you want to trend. I mean, I'm so embarrassed for you. I'm so embarrassed for the person the indicator. I'm embarrassed for Nairoland. I'm embarrassed for the TV station that she sat down. I'm embarrassed for those presenters that sat down with her and encouraged her to say that sort of thing. How would you look at yourselves now? The audacity of the lie. People realize that there's no repercussion for these things, and so that's why they can sit down together and then push narratives that not only is it false, but it's dangerous.
There's a repercussion.
What do you expect? Already, these are a group of people who feel, a certain way, who feel that there's a group of people that are against them. Then you single out one person that they can point at and say you have done this, and you as a TV station, you are giving them the platform to do that, and you're happy with yourselves? Who put these people together? Who gave them jobs? I don't know. On TV? How can you be so reckless and irresponsible and unprofessional?
And yet to say
I know you're asking for the toast to just be put down. It's not just apology. No, you want an apology. You demand an apology. And really, going forward, MPC should do a better job about this particular station. Let's look at what they are doing, the kind of guests that they are bringing on. Well, what is this nonsense?
So we need, let's be clear, because we're going to start opening our phone lines, but let's be clear what we want. Okay. We want that thing to be pulled down by Naira Land.
Yes.
We want Naira Land to issue an apology.
Yes.
We want Indi Kato herself to apologize because she went, although she didn't mention the okay, she will tell us the person she uncovered.
Can we calm down, please? This is not the platform for what we want. When you meet your lawyer, you will know what you want. I'm telling you, you'll be well equipped and compensated with what you want. So until you talk to your lawyer, don't talk here.
Okay.
The truth is, the NBC have done their job over time.
Yes.
More responsible TV stations have gotten
Stay tuned.
Ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just...
You want to be on the street.
No carry me go fancy dinner. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drag near water. You must consider.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. So to continue our conversation, we'll be inviting Dr. Charles Omole. He's a lawyer in security and public policy expert who will be joining us. But I'm told that I'm told that the connection is not ready, so we'll be with him in a moment. But before we get to Dr. Omole, let me come to you. We're going to see.
So I was going to say that for the issue of Naira, which was I said we should wait for business lawyers, is that the credibility of your platform to such a fake, unverified news is that I sat in my house, 2 essays from Lagos and Osun sent me this video believing that it was true. And in defamation, one of the strongest things is that, you know, the publications continue.
Yes.
So even though the idiot that made it up are taking it down, sorry, you know me, I'm a direct person, are taking it down, some credible platforms like Nairaland are right.
I can hear you, so we can.
Okay.
If you can hear me perfectly.
Go ahead.
Arise News will give their platform to give credibility to a lie and then further damage business reputation. So it's beyond take it down, apologize. It's beyond that. You need to make deterrent this situation.
Yes.
You need to make it. I was unable to find the blogger who took a story. I had to find a way. Somebody had to pay him money into his account, just lose money for him to, because he opened that and we used his account. And because I invaded certain platforms, I couldn't push it further because the bank had pushed on social media can lead to suicide. It has led to it. We've seen people in this in media entertainers. We've seen them at that point, destroyed, depressed because of this kind of things. And some people just enjoy it. Recently, Davido had an interview where he mentioned the incidents that affected him. Come and see comments. Just yesterday, somebody who is grieving, it cannot be collected. I don't know how grief is for everybody, but I am still grieving since 2020. I've not gotten over it. So I don't know how it can be collected, but Nigerians...
And I thank God that, please, let's do...
Thank you very much, Mr. Shala.
Okay, so, when this sort of thing happens, when you are not the one at the receiving end, we always feel like, okay, it will pass. But we are in a world where nothing is forgotten on social media.
Absolutely.
I am someone who is a woman of many parts. I do my businesses on social media. I'm a life coach. I am an artist. I'm an actor. I have businesses that I run aside from being on TV. So when you click my name tomorrow, you want to do business with me, this is what you're going to see. Even if you take down this one, take it down first though, but we will still see in court. Because this has to stop. And you have just touched the wrongest person. Because I was sitting down, my husband is naturally a very quiet person. He was sitting in his bedroom. How do you pair that man's picture and pair my husband and say they look alike? How? If you are not a mad person in the first place. I mean, somebody who is not even affiliated, I don't know that man.
I have the video.
Your husband is such a... Let me tell you.
I have the video from Indicator. I wish the producer to post it so that you will see the mischief. Deliberate one. Obedience have gone to do their research. That was her word. Yes. And they have found that the lady in question works with a TV station. Clearly. Being mischievous, referring to the post, are taking advantage of a lie, even though just to escape anything, irresponsible at the height of it. I am one who says things on the table, and when you come out, I say, Mora, leave it. I say with my full chest, I can back it. I know what I'm saying. If you cannot back it, hands off. Yes. If it is an embarrassment that has happened because of it, own it. And talk apologize. Which one is there? So one person's fault is one person's fault. Okay, let's even assume the Obiajulu Uja man was married. Was his wife on that flight? Thank you. I don't get it.
Let me take this call.
Somebody embarrassed himself alone by himself. You are dragging another person inside.
Idowu from Ibadan, you're live. Thanks for calling.
You ladies, my name is Idowu.
Yes, you're live.
And I'm calling from Ibadan.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Obiajulu. I can imagine what you've gone through. I was just, I think I came back from church yesterday and I decided to, for want of anything to do, and I saw the thing on Twitter. And my first reaction was, why will this lady's husband go and get herself involved in this thing? I don't even know her. I don't even know Obiajulu's full name. But I had to go all through her social media thing. And I saw this picture does not look like the picture they are posting here now. I'm a 63-year-old man. I don't do social media much, but I was actually worried. So I can imagine the trauma your husband must have gone through, because I could imagine if it was my wife. This thing, I don't know. But I think for all that it is worth,
the repercussions will be. And I blame us all in one way or the other. We feed this beast. Today is someone else, the other is another person. You're reading, you're consuming it, you're sharing it. And, people who do it are emboldened by this. And tomorrow when it's your own turn, you feel upset. I have never, I didn't even get to see this story until much later at night, because as I told you, I tried to just get off social media. Yesterday was my husband's birthday. I was completely off social media. And then when I saw it, I started laughing because I did not realize what had gone widespread. Because what I thought was someone tried to do it and everybody saw it for the stupidity that it was and laughed at it. But to hear the sort of people that have engaged this story and have pushed it on and and have spreading it all around. And I'm saying, who are we today? What sort of people are we? What exactly is it that we're looking for? It was not a mistake, like you have said. It was deliberately mischievous.
Yeah.
Let us look for who to blame for this. It is not us. We did not do it. But you see those people, it must be them. Let's find different ways to make it about them.
Yeah.
See, I didn't want to have to call the name obedient, but let me just say this, just for this conversation. That lady that went on TV, was she speaking for Labour Party? Was she speaking for Mr. Obi, or was she speaking for obedience? And who are obedience? Are they a group, a registered group of people? Do you know them? What is the criteria of being in that group? Who is their leader? Who talks to them? Who makes sure that there's a code of conduct or for behavior? And then you come here and then you're speaking for people that you know, that she obviously knows nobody. She knows, she doesn't know them. You just call them obedient. There are people very close to me that we talk about, elections and everything. They have vote. They do that to yourself.
Jeez.
Please.
Right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this, because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer.
.571. It says, leave her until APC begin to take legal action on her and her husband. I urge TVC News to suspend her. Suspend me, that's what happened. That you people married another husband for me that I'm not aware of. Went ahead to say, check Tunde Ednot's post and see how you and your husband are being accused. Don't take legal action. Be there shining teeth.
So Tunde Ednot's show is also part of this suit.
No, he posted the interview on Arise. Yes, that was posted on his page. Yes,
and he can also be a party auntie.
Everybody.
No, auntie.
They drag everybody. They go.
Every platform that published.
Let me somebody said a tweet. Our guest. Okay. Welcome, Dr. Omole. Good to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Omole is a lawyer and a security and public policy expert who will be joining us from Abuja studio. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies.
So we wanted to just lament and, speak on how this really affected us, but it's always important to bring in the more serious aspect of the legal part of it. What are your own general thoughts on this, and what do you think the next step should be to stop and reduce this prevalence of fake news on social media?
Well, I mean, the first thing to understand is that fake news has three dimensions to it. There are three types of fake news. And I think we need to make a distinction between those three to fully understand the damage that this can do. The first type of fake news is an outright lie. If Mariah or somebody puts in news that you are in London this morning, shopping on Oxford Street, that's an outright lie because we know you are in Nigeria. So that's an example of an outright lie fake news. The second category of fake news is when you take something that is true and then you add falsehood to it. And then they create a completely different narrative. That's the second type of fake news. The third type of fake news is when actually the facts are correct, but the narrative is wrong. For example, you went to an hotel with your husband, you spent 2 days there, and then the news come and say, oh, she was in an hotel with a boyfriend, you spent 2 days there. Now, the facts are correct, but the narrative is wrong. Now, the difficulty here is, at least, and this is a global phenomenon, not just Nigeria. The difficulty here is, once an element of a false story is found to be true, most people will just believe it. So if, for example, a picture was shown of you entering the hotel, everything else is irrelevant. People will believe it. And that is why we need, all over the world, you can't really use prosecution as the only tool for dealing with this. Because when you have something that is at an epidemic level, like we have it in Nigeria, how many people will you prosecute? How many people will you throw into jail? We have the laws, and that's very clear. Section 59 of the Criminal Code, Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act, they both make it clear, make it unlawful to share fake news or falsehood. So the issue is not whether we have a laws to deal with it or not. We do. But the best approach here is actually education. And what they did in Singapore to deal with something like this is they established what they call a strategy, what they call a SURE strategy. SURE means S-U-R-E. So in other words, when you get a piece of news, the S stands for source. So the first thing you need to check is what is the source of this news? Somebody just announced that a particular governor is dead, for example, and you check the handle, and you find that the person has only 10 followers on Twitter. So you have to ask yourself, will somebody who has 10 followers on Twitter be in a position to break that kind of news? So you have to check the source, of the news. Then the U stands for understand. You have to understand what actually the person is trying to convey, both by the way it is said, what is not said. And then the R stands for research. It means that research the news further. So did you check all the main news channels? Are they featuring the same news? I mean, think about it. If there's a major news like, God forbid, a governor dying, it won't be somebody with 10 followers that will break that kind of news. When no other reliable news channel is connected with the president-elect, because they want to have the clandestine meeting. Then the question, if you evaluate, you ask yourself, if these people have thousands of houses in Abuja, they can meet easily without anybody knowing. Why would you have to travel to London for a 10-minute meeting when you can easily have it secretly anywhere in Abuja? So if you evaluate the news, you actually see the logicality of what is being propagated. So education
with here, and then gives credibility to it by saying some people have researched and confirmed that story without necessarily confirming, just going with the fake news and saying some people have confirmed and researched and confirmed it. Does this fall under any of the categories you listed just now?
Well, I mean, I think the legal test really in that circumstance is, would it be that obvious that leads a morning show on TBC Monday to Friday around this time? Fine, no name has been mentioned, but everybody will know who the person they're talking about is. So it's a question of whether it's easy to decipher who it is they're talking about. If it is, then that can't fall under the crime. Yes.
Okay.
But if your understanding of it is based on your own peculiar information, then that means the bulk of the general public will not know who they're talking about, and that may be termed different.
All right, let me get it quick.
Okay, so I happen to be a victim of this fake news, sitting down in my house one cool Sunday evening, enjoying my suya, where my name was going round on social media on something I know nothing of. And I was very appalled because the said man in question, Mr. Obiajulu Uja, was handcuffed as at the time I saw the pictures that they sent there, and he was going to be arraigned in court according to the Tribune this morning. So if people are not deliberately trying to malign my character and defame me, is it not obvious that they can easily go to the court and correspond if it's actually my husband that is there? So please, what is the line of what's the first line of seeking redress? Because I'm taking this up.
Well, I mean, yes, you always have the option of taking people to court. I mean, the challenge again in Nigeria is not just the cost, but the sheer length of time it takes to prosecute. And sometimes, therefore, a lot of people feel the game is not worth the candle, so to speak. If you have to spend 4 or 5 years prosecuting a case and spend millions of your money, by the time you finish the case, lots of people will not even remember the story. So a lot of people end up not just prosecuting, not because they cannot, but they just feel it's not worth it. Sometimes also, a decision can be made that prosecution could actually give more oxygen to the news. So a news department will die down. In Nigeria, it's a place where things, people move on very quickly. By next week, something else will be out there. They won't even remember what happened last week. So the challenge is it worth doing?
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of, I was listening earlier, in terms of the continuous impact of falsehood and fake news, especially on social media and on the internet, what was done in the EU, which I think Nigeria can easily legislate for, is they have this right to be forgotten against Google and all the social media and search engines.
Okay.
Because what was happening is, if you are charged for a major crime, say 10 years ago, you are accused of a major crime 10 years ago, you are found to be innocent, you are not charged. If somebody searches your name today, they will still find that news 10 years ago. And then the EU decided that you now have a right to be forgotten, which means references to things that legally did not happen are to be removed completely by Google Europe, and I think it can easily be applied here.
All right, so one of the challenges of the ethos of journalism is the fact that everybody wants to be the first to break the news. So the issue we have here also, somebody feels they've matched something up and they want to be the first to break it and say, yes, I was going to put it out there that it was a TVC presenter's husband, because that's how you get all to following. So following now is a currency in today's journalism, where the more followers you get, the more popularity you have. So that can in that situation, can that matter be also referenced in court, where we see that it was just a need to be the first to break? Well, is that a problem we can find a resolution to within the laws?
Well, I mean, in that particular specific circumstance, I mean, I don't think the law will really deal with whether you are doing as breaking news. Falsehood is falsehood, and intent matters. But I think in the circumstance you have mentioned, there are immediate problems. For example, if you are known for peddling fake news, you lose credibility. There are people on social media, on Twitter, for example, that people know that this handle peddle fake news. So when they bring out any news, most reasonable people will just ignore it. So you lose credibility instantly if you are known for peddling fake news, in that sense. But in terms of the citizenry, I think what part of education we need in Nigeria is people need to be encouraged to be nuanced and be interested in detail.
Yes.
Because of this thing called clickbait.
Yeah.
You have a situation where you see an headline on social media, and when you read the story doesn't gel with the headline. So clearly the headline was written for the purpose of you clicking, and those people making money. Every time you click, traffic goes to that site, and they are paid by the headline.
But sir, the gravity of this, I think, is much more than we're talking, because the president-elect almost lost the presidency because of this fake news. Because we saw a lot of narratives on social media about this person, how sick he was, how he cannot move, he cannot talk, people doctoring things he's saying. These are things that could have cost one man a whole position as president, for the presidency. So do you think we are taking, our laws are taking enough, we're taking it as aggressive as we should in the law, in the court, or is the National Assembly? The legislator addressed this issue of cyberbullying, this issue of fake news, this issue of hate speech. And we do have enough laws that we can actually begin to prosecute these peddlers of fake news on social media.
Well, I mean, I don't think this is a law, a situation where National Assembly needs to create law. The laws already exist. I think this is matter for the prosecutors. For example, in the United Kingdom, the Crown Prosecution Service have certain tests you must they use to determine whether a case should go to court or not. One of those tests ask the question: is it in the public interest to prosecute this case? If the answer is yes, it helps. It's one of the questions test that they have to pass. So in this case, the prosecution authorities could say, you know what, we want to spend 1 year targeting.
Right.
If that happens over a year, for example, trust me, the environment will change. People will now see that they cannot get away with it,
all right,
very easily. Right now, people feel they can sit in their bedroom and create any story they like on social media, and people will believe it.
Right.
And that clearly must stop.
Right.
There has to be consequences.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles Omole. I'd like to leave at this time, but thank you for shedding light on this matter. Dr. Omole is a lawyer, security, and public policy expert who's been helping us understand better how to go about this issue of fake news. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a few more calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym means. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final
You
answer.
don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting.
You wouldn't want to work with who? Not
There's no
disrespect.
judgment.
No, and I
Oh,
respect.
they'll judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
who?
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they are nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. I wanted to jump in.
Yes, so I believe that evil thrives because good men keep quiet.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why it seems like Nigeria is a lawless country is because people who have the opportunity and the power to do something will just feel, well, I don't want wahala, I don't have time, I don't want to stress myself, I don't want to wait 5 years, 10 years for judgment to come. Let me just leave them to God.
Exactly.
But we all can't leave them to God. Right? We all can't suspend our lives, especially on something that you're not even guilty of, because you want to leave them to God. I believe that God has given me the power to fight some battles. There are some battles I will fight physically and fight on my knees. So all the prayer and meditation I've been doing, maybe that one is not working. I need to add the physical one, right? And so I'm not afraid to go the long haul. I'm a young person. I have years. By the grace of God. I'm not planning to die today, except of course, I don't know. But I still have a long time to wait. I still have the years to say, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to go through this, and I'll see the judgment at the end of the day. So that next time, you as a blogger, that you're still struggling, you want to quickly hammer, you want to quickly have people who would jump on your, and give you all the massive following that you want. You will verify your news before you post it. If I let this slide, tomorrow it will be somebody who do not have the means to go to court. And they will think this is how Nigeria is. When it happens to me, it happens to me. Maybe God will stand up someday and save me. But if I do this, I will be saving a lot more people in the future, so that this kind of thing does not happen to them. So I'm willing to pay this price right now to save a lot more people in the future. So they should wait for me. I'm coming.
You have the capacity to do it, and you can do it. Fantastic. Let me take this call and come to you, Mariam. Yakub, welcome to the show. Good seeing you on Saturday. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Samurai, and then everyone in the studio. And then, obviously, please don't step down. Get a very good lawyer, especially like Mr. Falano, because that guy is the person I believe that can take it off. So the logical conclusion, because they will continue to do that. Because this is barbaric, this is absurd. Good morning. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We have, go ahead.
I have a few. Yes, I just wanted to say, there are many things that we've done on this table that I've been proud of, and there's some, I'll talk about two in particular because they're the most recent. And these are things that we do behind the scenes. And sometimes, as viewers or followers, you just never understand. Towards the elections, we had people come from different parties to our table. And I remember one of the things Mariah was very, that she pushed was, we have to be decent. They should not come to our table to think that we're attacking them. Let us give them a platform so that they can feel free and express. We had Jandor, he was the candidate for PDP. And we had people who were calling and itching to call because of some story about this TV station he used to own, and allegations of, things about payments of salary and the way he carried himself during that time. And we said that this was not the time. This is the time for the person to come and talk about, his dreams and his aspirations. And already we had this thing over our heads, which is we are for a certain person or for a certain party. So we were decent. And after that interview, I got not 2, not 3 messages commending us for how decent we were with him. And I felt so proud of us, because it was not about the followership and the bars and the goals. It was about decency. Decent conversation. And even he, if he's willing and if he's decent enough, he would acknowledge too on that day.
The rival guy was here too.
Yeah, how he felt here. We allowed him to be himself. So it's not, that's why for me, the bloggers are the bloggers. We know, it's just like magazines. You have tabloids, you have real magazines and newspapers you go to. But when we were not followed, we were called all sorts of things, but the truth prevailed. And I'm happy to be part of people that understand that decency and honesty above followership and trending.
Let that take that in for a second. Thank you. God bless you. Let me take this call. Lekki and Mr. Hassan from Lekki. Go ahead, you're live. Okay. You're laughing.
Yeah, I dey laugh. I dey laugh. And I will continue to laugh.
Yes.
Look, let me tell you, you see, these people of this opposition, I don't want to mention their name. They are delusional. Delusional. A lawyer went to defend him by saying that this guy is mentally ill. They should release him for treatment at police clinic or what have you. That shows the kind of people they are. They have serious problems, and it is good for her to follow it up so that it will serve as a deterrent to anybody in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, something Mariam said and that struck me, which I think is tried really hard to be as objective as possible, and yet people don't see that. Because it's the moment because it's TVC, it's only what they want to hear in their mind, they accept. So it's so painful, the hard of work. So right now, for an indicator to say that obedience, she was our exact words, where the obedient have gone to research. So that research they did, we would like a copy of it. What are the indices of researchers that they used to find? What are the tools were used to find out who are the group of researchers? And secondly, the station they found, please give us the name, the person they found, give us the data. Maybe we are wrong. So let us get, because there's a guy on our Twitter page saying Dr. Mali has put us in our place. One kiss it to somebody. Most of people don't. And I refer to that question so that another person will not be among their friends. Just mention that indicator has just, what she has done is actionable. There's a situation she took advantage of. She referred to it in innuendos and all of that. And she did not take it back. This one of clearly, but giving her a benefit of a doubt, it's possible she was referring to a different research. Maybe we are the one assuming. No, we are assuming that is that. I would not post that she's referring. It's possible she has more information than we do. There's a possibility. Which group of researchers? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That we are thinking she's referencing the social media post. There's a possibility that there's another group she might be referring to. So let her bring it forward also, because we might be wrong. Might be a totally different. Well, might be right. Yes, just maybe. Yes, just maybe. Out of somewhere. Yes. Another Obiajulu somebody carried. When Ireland even carried this was the one that I found most insulting, because for Ireland to see the surname and see insists the person is linked and posted my. They wrote Obiajulu Ubo and they linked her to Obiajulu Uja. So they know. But they chose to be irresponsible. So let's just assume that she too, she must have seen another Obiajulu somewhere that this was talking about. Whose picture was trending presently? Whose result was the result of a research of a group of obedience that she knows about? Let's just assume that.
Yeah, and then, you know, in the spirit of objectivity and the spirit of your view, you know, I would like to give an advice. As Labour Party, you should have a difference between members of your party and people just on social media. And then or not, then so would know how to address, you know, you. I feel that Mr. Obi himself is a man, you know, he's come this far. And as you said, you know, build